we doing?
Amazing.
Amazing?
Yeah.
You should be amazing. You have come to Pueblo and won an international tournament. When you started boxing, did you see yourself doing something like this?
No, I only seen this for like self-protection and stuff. Yeah.
Why not? And now, instead of that, now here you are on a Saturday after a week-long tournament, people flying in from as far away as Russia.
Yeah.
And you're standing here with the gold medal around your neck. I mean, does it feel real?
It doesn't feel real at first, but now it does.
Dressing Eugenio, ladies and gentlemen, that's who I'm standing here with right now. You were in there with a tough guy in Trumbo.
Yeah.
Were you familiar with him?
Yeah, I was pretty familiar with him.
So
one of my teammates found him, fought him, landed.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. So now, having the opportunity to watch one of your teammates fight him, big shout out to Landon Patricio.
Yeah.
How much of an advantage did that give you going into this contest?
Gave me a lot, like learning how to study him, play him, all that kind of good stuff.
All right.
Yeah.
So are you going to give Landon a call and say, man, thanks a lot?
Yeah.
You said when you first started, boxing was just, for protection, self-defense, that type of thing. When did it change from that to being something where you felt like, man, I'm good enough to really compete and be good at this?
When I won my first belt in Vegas during the title event, that's when I really started to pursue it.
Right.
Yeah.
So now, has that changed your goals to make you think differently about your future in the world of boxing?
It changed my mindset just to work harder.
Right?
Yeah. Because hard work really does pay off.
Hard work does pay off. I tell you what, and it paid off for you in this tournament. You did a great job of talking to Drayson Eugenio. And so what we're going to do is we're going to have him step in there and give me those thank yous and shout outs to everybody.
Thank you to my mom, my parents, all the family back home supporting, especially my coaches, Coach Linden and Coach Mike and all the other Westside coaches. Thank you very much.
That's it. That's great. Thank you very much. Congratulations again. I look forward to the next one.
Yeah,
there he is, Drayson Eugenio, ladies and gentlemen. Good job, baby. Good job. I love it. Man, that is so much fun. Ladies and gentlemen, however, we got work to do. How about we jump quickly to ring number 2? Let's see the scores after round 1 in ring number 2. We had an opportunity to talk to Javier Mitchell on yesterday. You heard him talk about, as you see the scores, there are 4-1 split in favor of YAHYA Metz. You heard him talking about on yesterday. They boxed in the previous tournament, and he got an early first-round stoppage against Metz. It came out of nowhere. At least in my opinion, I would have lost my house because I certainly would have bet everything on the fact that he would not have done something like that to Metz, especially as quickly as it happened in the first time. We talked about it on yesterday. Javi saying that, yes, he plans to go out and get the victory today and come back to see me. But, of course, we also said that absolutely we know. I have not had the opportunity to speak with YAHYA about this, but we certainly know he remembers it. He's thought about this, and he has wanted nothing more than to meet Javier Mitchell in this contest, in this tournament. And if there was anyone rooting for Javi, as much as his family, it was YAHYA Metz, so he could see him. And here we go. Metz taking that first round. And so here we are in the second round. You see Mitchell trying to crank up the pressure. Good right hand from Metz as he scoots away to the center of the ring. But Javi continuing to try to apply pressure. Good job by Metz. And we knew there was no way we were going to see a repeat of what happened in that previous bout. Now let's see. We are 90 seconds away from heading to the third round in this contest, and we are a long way from what happened what feels like now many months ago. You see Metz flashing the jab. Javi with the high guard. Good jab between the guard there from YAHYA. Counter right hand from Metz as Mitchell attempts to step forward, and you see Metz is much more prepared for what he's going to get from Javier Mitchell. Look at the scores in ring number 1. 3-2 split in the first round in favor of the blue corner and Rodarte. Second round, 10-9, top to bottom for Courtney Glover. Exciting bout that we have there in both of these. How about we take an opportunity to talk to my guy, Tyrese Anthony, ladies and gentlemen.
Yay, son.
My guy, Tyrese.
That's my stuff.
Man, I'm doing great, man. I mean, just watching you grow is just wild, man. It's amazing. We've come a long way. Where's Mom today?
She's back in St. Louis with my brother. I got her sickness.
I did not know that, man. I'm sorry to hear that, man. So what is it like for you You know, I'm so used to hearing her in the background. What is it like for you to travel, you know, to come to the tournament, not just without her, but without your brother as well?
I won't say it's difficult, but you know, it's just a little new to me. I'm always used to looking back, seeing my brother.
Right.
You know, but I want the winners for him. You know, shout out to him. Hope he's feeling better.
Well, that was going to be my next question. Certainly not trying to, you know, get into your family's personal business, but I was going to ask, you know, how is your brother and is he okay?
Oh, he's doing well now. He just got a surgery yesterday night. He was a surgery.
Wow. Okay. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen, talking to my guy Tyrese Anthony. You know, doing what you seem to always do when you come to these tournaments. Was a little bit of a different feel for you that this was an international tournament?
A little bit, but it was more difficult coming up to Colorado. You know, the altitude.
Right.
I couldn't get used to the air, but
do you feel like you were more adjusted to it by the time we got to today?
Yeah, because I came a little early, you know, get some running in, try to get used to it.
Right.
I felt cool.
Was that an advantage for you in today's bout?
I think so.
Now, you were in there with a tough guy, you know, Camacho. You know, I'm familiar with him. You know, I'm from Houston. That's where he's from. You know, so I get a chance to see this kid. You know, he is an aggressive boxer. You know, how tough was it for you to deal with him, especially in that third round when he was really coming?
Very tough, man. He's still coming, no matter how many times I try to get him off me, hook him off me.
Right.
Every time I blink, he right back in my face.
Man, and you caught him with some nice shots, especially when you were sliding away, you know, along the ropes. Were you surprised that he kept coming?
No, not at all. You know, I seen his other fights, and I knew he was gonna come. I was trying to, you know, back him up so he couldn't come to me. Thinking, like, I want to take the fight to him while staying alone, but it ended up going the opposite, him coming to me.
Well, so now we get to the end of the bout. You know, after the third round, you're both standing in the center of the ring, waiting for to hear that decision. Were you confident that it was coming to you?
Very much. You know, all I could do was pray. You know, it was a close fight.
So you threw a little. You were confident, but you tossed a little prayer in there too.
Always do that.
Well, I tell you what, man, you did a great job. Congratulations to you again. I love seeing you win at this level. So now I need you to just step in there and give me those thank yous and shout out to everybody back.
I want to shout out to my brother, my coaches, my mama, my dad. Shout out to all my family, my friends, everybody who looked in and watched me fight.
There it is, ladies and gentlemen. Tyrese Anthony, the king of St. Louis, man. Congratulations to you, baby. Oh, man. I tell you what, it's not the same not having his mom yelling in the background. You can tell when she's not here. But more importantly than all of that is the fact that his family is getting better.
Thank you for the love. Thank you for the
Now
love.
he's doing much better. Nothing is more important than that.
I'm here with the live, though.
You see, we are in the end of the bout in ring number 1, so we'll get the scores there. But how about we go back to ring number 3, ladies and gentlemen, ring number 2, where we are under 20 seconds here. You see the big right hand, you know, by Metz, and another one upstairs, Mitchell, taking the second round. You know, so both boxers needing this third round, and now the straight right hand and a good left hook from Mitchell, straight right from Metz. And this is what we expected to see between these two boxers in this contest. Metz definitely wait for an opportunity to get back, and as they continue to go, and that's how you want to barrel through the finish line, ladies and gentlemen. Did you see that?
Okay, congratulations, Courtney Glover.
Did you see that? As you see, 10-9 and a 10-8 to boot, Courtney Glover. You see Courtney Glover giving the indication of the whipping that took place in the ring.
Good job.
Glover, representing Southwestern region, with the victory in ring number 1. That's the way you do it, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, man. Now we'll see the scores in ring number 2, ladies and gentlemen, between Javier Mitchell and YAHYA Metz. And that bout did not disappoint. The buildup was certainly worth the product. As you see Mitchell on his knees in that neutral corner giving thanks. You hear that background, ladies and gentlemen. Nothing like moms. There's nothing like moms moving through the arena. Here we go. Javi Mitchell, YAHYA Metz, the official word coming from the lovely Ron Nico, ladies and gentlemen. And it is Javi Mitchell, ladies and gentlemen.
Wow, congratulations, Javier.
In unanimous fashion, 10-9, all 5 cards. in that third round. The big punching of Javier Mitchell, and maybe just too large.
Wow.
For Mets, that height
Congratulations.
reach advantage on display. Mets and Mitchell, maybe, ladies and gentlemen, the bout of the tournament. But I love the respect shown for both boxers. Both boxers showing respect for their opponent. Congratulations to both. Great job being here on the final day of the tournament. But there can only be one. Great job by Mets for being here. Even better job by Mitchell getting the victory.
This is beautiful.
And here we go. Here we go. My guy. Courtney Glover, man. How we feeling?
Good.
What
Told y'all go do it.
what is this? What is this? What are you doing?
ETA.
Man, first round in the books. You know, he came out. You were in there with a tough guy, right? We expected that.
Yeah.
You know, Eugenio had a good tournament as well. So in that first round, it was pretty tough in there. What were you thinking at the end of that first round?
So I had to go get it.
That's it. I just gotta go get it. So what did you do to go get it?
I had to walk forward. I had to walk. Yeah, that last round I knew I had it, so I just boxed him. I knew I had it. I just boxed him.
You actually did a very good job, getting, I thought you did a very good job in that second round. The third round, it started to, see some real distance between you and him. What was the difference between him in the second round and the third round? What allowed you to show that difference?
Sure, I just know I have more power. Shit.
You showed it a little bit too.
Yeah.
What is it like for you to do something like that as you're growing, as your body is growing, as you're becoming, growing into into yourself? What is it like for you to say that, to just say, okay, well, I'm just going to get strong. I'm just going to use my power. How different is that for you than before?
So I work hard. All I do.
I tell you did great. And what's it like for you to have this crowd? You guys always seem to do such a good job of supporting one another. What does that mean to you to have that?
So, great.
So I tell you what, step in here with me and give me those thank yous and those shout outs to everybody back home.
Thank you for all the people that's watching, my family, my sister. She put it on the TV. It's a way to top.
I tell you what, there it is, ladies and gentlemen. A man of few words, but inside the ring, he is dynamite. That is Courtney Glover, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much. And watching this kid grow up has been amazing, man. Thank you so much. My guy, Courtney Glover. Now we got to get the picks for everybody. Start there.
That's what's up, y'all.
My man,
Congratulations.
Did she get it? Man, good job. Good job. BTA, he said. My man, Courtney Glover. It is really something to stand here with these young men and women and just looking at how much they've grown, over the years. I remember just the first time seeing him, he was just a skinny little kid looking up to me. And now it's like the other way around. Except I'm not skinny. I've actually put on a lot of weight since then. I am David Austin, ladies and gentlemen. We see the scores in ring number 1. Junior males competing at 145 pounds. 10-9 on 3, 10-8 on the other. Cain Elizondo starting as well as you could expect. A lot of work to be done. In ring number 2, we have Dante Peralta in red, Luciano Camacho in blue. We're about to find ourselves at the end of the round in ring number 2, where we have junior males competing at 154 pounds, ladies and gentlemen. After we get the scores in ring number 2, we're going to get a chance to talk to my guy, Javier Mitchell, the promise keeper. I'm putting that on a t-shirt.
That'd be
I'm putting it on a t-shirt. The promise keeper.
I like
Mitchell.
that.
You see the scores. 3-2 split in favor of the blue corner and Camacho representing the U.S. from the Gulf region. Ladies and gentlemen, now how about we go here? I'm talking to my guy, Javier Mitchell.
All right, Javier.
How we feeling?
I'm feeling amazing. I'm feeling good.
Right, I tell you. Now, the bout that we saw today was the bout that I was expecting the last time.
For sure,
And you
yeah.
had to know that it was coming,
I
right?
did. That's why I said I'm staying on 10, sitting on my P's and Q's.
Right. So, did he do anything today that you didn't expect?
No, he did everything I expected.
Right.
Actually. He did everything I thought he was going to do. I knew he was probably going to try to box now because
Right.
he knew he couldn't bang with me.
Right.
He knew that.
Well, speaking of banging with you, let's get to the third round. He takes the first round. You 4-1. You unanimously take the second round. And at the end of this contest, you guys are standing in the center of the ring, just letting it go.
Yes.
Is that what you would have expected?
No, I wasn't expecting that, actually. That's one thing I wasn't expecting. I didn't expect a dog fight at that.
Right. And I'm going to say it surprised me a little bit, but I certainly can't speak for YAHYA, but for you to be in there, and that's the way y'all crossed the finish line, just standing there toe-to-toe going at it, is that the way you would have wanted it?
I don't care which way it was, actually. I did want that, though. I wanted that. I did.
Yeah, we talked about it on yesterday, saying that if there was one person in this building who wanted you to be able to win yesterday, it was him, because he wanted to see you. Could you tell that in this bout that he wanted?
Yeah. This whole tournament, I knew he wanted to see me. I knew it.
There he is.
Go right there.
There he is, man.
Good fight, champ.
It was a great fight, and I want to get a chance to talk to him.
Yeah,
before he moves away. And we don't get a chance to do this often.
They sure don't. This is big.
Let me have just a second. Got YAHYA here.
That is major.
How important was it? How much did it matter to you to get back in there with him?
It was real important because, I got stopped in the first round. I didn't like that at all.
Not at all.
That's the only reason I stayed at 38, just so I could get my rematch.
So at the end, I just asked him about it. The end of that third round, you guys are standing toe to toe and letting it go. Is that the way you wanted to finish?
I wanted to finish to show that I was after the second round, like the 4-1, that didn't hurt my that didn't hurt my spirit.
Right.
I had to go out there and show some dog at least.
Man, I think that's incredible. Let me tell you something, guys. My favorite part of this tournament right now, unless something happens, is the fact that you guys can have the last two bouts that you did. To have the one for previously, to get in there today, to want to see each other in the ring, get in there and compete the way that you did, and then able to stand here like mature men and talk about the sport and not about anything else. And I think that's a testament to who both of you are and who you can be in the future. So I thank you both for that, okay? Man, good job. Give me some shout-outs while you're up here, YAHYA.
I wanted to give a shout out to God first for giving me the health to get back in there with him and to make it to the third round and finish it out good. I want to give
That's
a
beautiful,
shout out
YAHYA.
to my coaches that put the hard work in for me after the 30 days, because I had to take the 30 days off.
Right.
And then I want to give out a shout out to my mom because she been texting me all this tournament and I know she watching. I want to give out a shout out to my dad for helping me with the condition and pushing me to put that type of work in.
Man.
And give a shout out to everybody else that's watching, my siblings, my uncle, my teammates, all of them that's watching, to watch me put on the show.
Right. Well, I tell you what, I'm sure they're proud of you. I know that they are, because I certainly am, man. Thank you and congratulations for being here and putting in the work that you did.
Thank you.
Man.
No, I'm not happy about this. Yeah, for sure you did.
There you go, man. That's what I'm talking about, man. And so, when you do it the right way, right? When you show respect, you can have that right there.
Yeah,
My man
sure.
said, I stayed at I bet you didn't know that. I stayed at 38 so we could do
But I
this.
was already expecting that.
So now let me have those thank yous and shout outs to everybody.
Of course, I'm going to give my first shout out to God. He's the one who's done everything for me, waking me up every morning, keeping me pushing through my limits, and just being there for me. Second, my mom, coach, my mother. That's my mom bear right there. She's doing everything. She also pushed me to my limits. She's just always there for me and pushing me. I want to thank my other coach, Nikki Hawk, being there for me too. Coming to these tournaments, also supporting, being in my corner, giving me the right instructions and everything. And third, I want to thank my dad and my family for
Of course, man. That's my guy, Javier Mitchell, man. Congratulations. I said the promise keeper.
Yes, sir.
My man said, I will be back.
I need that shirt too.
I'm going to get it for you. We're going to make some.
Okay.
The promise keeper.
All right, thank you.
And I will sue a child, so don't use it without me. I will do it. Javier Mitchell, we got to get the picture. Ladies and gentlemen, my God.
That's beautiful. I love
There we
that.
go, man. Thank you, Javier.
That was beautiful.
Javier Mitchell, ladies and gentlemen, I love that.
That was a beautiful
the promise
interview.
keeper. My man said, I will be back and we're going to do it again. I think that is awesome that he was able to do that, ladies and gentlemen. So let's keep it going. You see where we are, ladies and gentlemen? We've made our way to the end of the bout in ring number 1 between Elizondo and Mendez, those junior males competing at 145 pounds. Mendez in blue, representing the USA from Colorado. Elizondo in red, representing the US from Oregon. We are about 10 seconds to go in ring number 2 between Peralta and Camacho, ladies and gentlemen. Peralta in red, Camacho in blue. You see Camacho in pursuit of Peralta as we make our way to the finish line in ring number 2. We'll get the official word on both of these bouts here in just a moment. I am David Austin, ladies and gentlemen, here with you. The 2025 USA Boxing International Open, ladies and gentlemen. We are here still in Pueblo, Colorado. Championship day, ladies and gentlemen. Day 5, ladies and gentlemen. You see the scores. It is Cain Elizondo getting the victory, ladies and gentlemen, in ring number 1. Fabian Mendez and that team from Colorado coming up just a bit short. And now we wait the official word in ring number 2. Between Peralta and Camacho. When the action resumes in ring number 1, ladies and gentlemen, you'll have youth females competing at 106 pounds. Making her way in the ring and eventually into the red corner, representing the U.S. from the New England area, it will be Sienna Nanfala. And in the blue corner, representing the U.S. from Hawaii, it will be Nisi Tiulilo. And now, in ring number 2, ladies and gentlemen, it is Dante Peralta getting the victory over Luciano Camacho. You see the final scores, ladies and gentlemen. Unanimous victory. 30-26 on 2 of the cards. A comfortable victory for Dante Peralta. Ladies and gentlemen, what you are seeing now are the youth females that have won their weight categories. Taking the team photo.
That's what's up. I'm gonna go ahead and end this live right here, and I might be back.
Good, sir.
All right.